I believe Team Liquid signed up for that. Every game matters, as we are just over a month away from the major cutoff. BESTIA needing a high placing in this one versus rival Fluxo in that major race. Let's get it.
On this Ancient immediately, obviously being the pick of BESTIA here, side selection. This is the CT era, of which we are unofficially named. I think in a couple months we're going to be calling it that. Fluxo will be quite comfortable over here.
Yeah, and we're talking about the importance of this T-side pistol, and it's a good opening, but Descenti comes through with 2 and keeps it level, at least. So cave control established for BESTIA, 3 versus 3. Bomb still hovering. Lucaozy having to keep eyes on the back of his head. Player over towards the ramp as well. We have a lurk from Thomasin.
Like so much info of Art making all this noise, and he's literally sprinting to the back of square right now. This is clear signal for Thomasin to just walk behind and
does all the rotates too.
Round gained. This is exactly that. This is not stab in the back. This is waiting for him to just stand and catch these rotations in hand. Has a first shot cased in, but trying to buy time.
He's done great. He's gonna go ahead and back up and take down the 2 HP of Kai. Now BESTIA doing a little bit of roundabouts here. Thomasin, shadow scene. Lucaozy can't hit this headshot. Big time. He knows. He hits it. He's up for the clutch now in the 1v2.
And he's catching the bomb before K-Scene can see back into the site, but 25 to just give a little bit of respect here, and they are going to be facing him. They've still got to flood their way back behind the pillar, and K-Scene is just going to put this bomb down. Trusts in his in-game leader, who just gets popped 1 in the head, and now with the dualies, is going to have to really give this a dig to the heels on the defense. He's giving him all type of respect.
Oh, but a goose comes through, long range, but it's only the dualies. Lucaozy stays standing, and he hits the headshot too. A 1 versus 3 in the pistol round for Lucaozy. As he pulls off the pistol, BESTIA needed that desperately. We know we're talking about the CT side. They at least get a bomb plant, allows for a force buy back, but a devastating clutch to open.
And already you can point how this is going to be, you know, where we were facing a lot of our time speaking in the pregame, talking about how BESTIA on that previous Ancient were able to build up a foundation beginning of that T-side, ripping up a T-side pistol. They're not going to be out with the resources here with the bomb plant to just shovel up a 4 straight back, but already thrown off of their itinerary.
I mean, the way Lucaozy played this 1v1 as well was just so well done, because he stays patient, and as long as he makes no noise, BESTIA will have to second guess themselves. And so, force buy here for the Argentinians, the mixture at least.
It's a Brazilian and Uruguayan player. You want to see a full national Argentinian matchup. Crew ain't in this tournament. Fortunate. Not anymore, at least.
Looks like we're going to see a mid pop here. Kai's going to be under some pressure. First kill's good.
Manage this.
Yeah, he's going to flash forward, but unblinded there is Thomasin, and Timo with a quick double and the force buy victory for BESTIA. Maybe that's even better than the pistol round. Fluxo floored after Timo runs up middle with a deagle and hammers down those rifles at range.
Yeah, the Uruguayan player ringing the bell early. And even, I will point this out for the people at home, Dex Zevi, who is not of the, well, I don't know how he feels, but the correct name right now. I know I was watching, it was Flamengo the other day with Hassel Peak going by Pickles Peak on Face It. What's up?
And they're just going to hit A-site quick. A little risky versus pistols, especially because you don't have a lot of post-plant space. So there will be some angles to be taken by these Desert Eagles in this kind of post-plant.
The quick refresh on that line. The risk for the post-plant, but not to mention, I mean, the straight-up Counter-Strike 101 risk of running into a stack. They weren't worried about that. So so brutal to the
Yeah.
on A, but they're doing the right thing. They're saving out this Kevlar just so they can run in back with 2K in the pockets next round.
Yeah, maybe looking for an exit here if any these rifles make their way into CT spawn. You have to run quite far away from that ancient bomb. But all is well. Fluxo will be able to fight for another one of these rounds. I think no utility will be purchased here, though, so it will just be 4, 5, 7s. That's a lot of numbers there.
Mm-hmm.
That adds up to 16.
Glad I have you.
Can't give you a meeting for that number. I can't follow up with that. Yet another A play.
Yeah.
Good luck to Mr. Bertolucci here. Oh my god, that's a huge kill though. That is a huge kill. Decent. He picks up a gun. And Art fires one through the smoke. It's a quick 3 versus 5, and there's no map control either for Bestia. This is worst case scenario right now. And you also have flanks activating as well in towards T-spawn. This is up to Cassine to deal with them.
Oh no.
And he goes down. No way. This is happening. 4 spies on 4 spies. Timo now walking forward desperately. Off angle for Kai. And Timo can't double up. This round is gone awry.
This has just been insane to watch. First of all, I don't know what's coming out of the other end of these 5-7s. Go ahead and check some of that lead, but Art's criminal conspiracy ends that essentially I'll give him a lot of the credit for patting back down. Getting that second spam kill in the smoke was just some crazy stuff. Lucaozy will approach here.
He's at timing.
And he's got a little bit of an HP factor going for him. And ripping off the head of Zevi's got that completely in his court now with a bit of personal space on A.
Oh my goodness, they don't have kits? This is a real opportunity now for Lucaozy. He's even mind gaming right now. But he's not going to push the issue inside of Temple. So now calling that clear. Oh, he's made noise. He's made noise critically. Now they know where he is. They can even try to defuse the bomb safely and fake on the defuse for Decenty. But the shot's there and the trade's no good from Lucaozy. Lucaozy surely has just won this by the time, and he has. It's a 1 versus 4 to stop a calamity.
This is a round that we're going to be talking about for the praises of Lucaozy. When we're looking for something here in this T side, maybe it's not the beat for beat, go ahead and be that second man in the chain of this entry duo, but how often do you see Lucaozy out there finishing a round like that in the clutch? I'll tell you what, it's not very often. That's one that's going to get a lot of praise from us.
Oh my goodness. That is, I mean, devastating here for Fluxo, but just the lifeline that Bestia needed at that very moment. Fluxo would be flush with cash. You would see Zevi on an AWP. Instead, it's just M4s for the bunch. And not much to do. Flashbang in here for Kai, but that smoke, gigantic. Can't even run through a gray screen. But Art, of course, to make the first move. No smoke, completely ignoring what could walk through those doors. And he'll collect a second. It's Lucaozy instead, bottom of B ramp. And Fluxo are up a couple players. They need to hold fast even more, though. It's Art in the corner here.
He stands patiently on it. After he's gotten every single inclination that this thing is walking away, yells to Decent to just get ready for this to actually go through cave. Nothing coming right into his crosshair.
Oh
he knows he has a timing presented. Oh, but what a shot right back. Lucaozy has him every single time. Cassine on a double manner, but this is continue to be chained up one after another. It is Art that finishes the job. A great round in here from the in-game leader of Fluxo, making his mark off of a play that came out of thin air to begin with.
Man, some of these plays are actually ridiculously risky. That push forward from Art. Already taking the angle in towards cave as well.
And I'll say again, or rather for the first time, because I know I was bringing up a lot of heat that I was likely going to bring to Art. That's a play that he may do again, and we may criticize in the future. Just to be clear with you, I mean, that's the duality of a player like Art sometimes, to go for that risk. And in my most current memory, I mean, the reward really hasn't came. It's a great play there, but I don't know if that's going to happen every time.
Yet another one of these A plays for the side of Bestia. This is expected, though, for Fluxo. They're playing the retake. Decent at long range as well. Just lets a couple shoulders pass, and Teemo takes one step too far. Double entry back. Senti steps forward and can't find the headshot onto Thomason. Somehow survives, and that bomb's going to get planted. Call it round over.
Yeah, most definitely. Anchor away these guns back on Fluxo and begin to really see the strength over here on A, but I feel like they've given it every couple of aspects. Just running back the gun round that they had, rather, against the anti-ecos 2 times in a row. This time they find it on the gun straight away. I'm not sure they're going to be seeing into the retake setup every single time now. It's really just been Kai kind of keeping the rest of his sight in mind as he fights for middle from Donut.
And it's really just Bestia winning out those duels. Firepower is actually prevailing on this squad, which is something that they've been struggling with as of late. Big time duel one in towards Donut. Descenti unable to come through with a massively impactful kill. That would have been the bomb down on the ground. And instead, it's Bestia who are kicking up a storm here on the T side. This risky pick of Ancient. Starting off strong is the dream start. Honestly, 4 rounds could very well be enough in certain circumstances, as it is all so messy in middle. They're trying to boost up onto the catwalk, but Lucaozy's already here and delivers one. It's messy in middle. Art pulling grenades. Needs a double here as Lucaozy's right above him, and he gets it somehow and gets away.
Art, don't you dare continue to duel, but it must be done. It must be done. And Art has a third here holding down middle on every single block. This bomb slowly headed in its way back towards this B site. Art, there's no way that you're going to be reading Teemo on the approach. Uruguayan player has that on tap, and they're turning this ship around. Just considering it currently, Teemo is not having any sort of inclination of Zevi. No information given on the audible approach. He's just waiting in this corner for somebody to come up the ramp.
Yeah, but it just isn't going to happen. Zevi will clear down the bottom of ramp, and I think the realization will begin to set in. Now, Noxie's a little bit late on this play, and Zevi's got nothing to lose. I mean, he could pick up an AK and save. I'd like for him to give this a shot because they've left a donut open. This is an avenue for Zevi to pull off this clutch. Back's turn.
Fully blocked off. And now they finally give him it. Noxie facing this close is going to be a problem. Absolutely is. Just spotted Teemo and hits an absolute blinder. Keeping both hands on to this lead that Bestia are building 1 foot in front of the other. They just got a 5th.
Yeah, that's all that matters, is that they win these rounds. No matter how close it is, just every T-side round counts. And now rocking with 5. That peak from Noxie, a bit unwarranted. You could just jump up onto the shelf as well, just to play that massive off angle that rarely ever gets cleared. But Teemo's been hitting some shots. He won them that Deagle round. He won them that second round force buy. That clean close to the 1v1 is more of what you want to see out of that player. In the meantime, we're looking at Kai, who has been struggling over in middle at the moment. It's really been Art trying to pick up his slack round after round. And he's been the player who's lost a couple of those duels out towards Donut on those A hits. But it doesn't look like they're going to test him early, at least. Fluxo giving up mid as Art making one of his signature solo plays, self-flashing in, and will go down to Lucaozy.
walking this even further right up the walk. It's Kai that's even refreshing on some of that utility. He's just got to maintain. All of this reaggression comes down the ramp. They even find something on the other end of that hook, refreshing to B for all of the lost cost. Something is being tempted here through Teemo's mind. He may take this.
A lot of information flowing the way of Fluxo, however. Players spamming top of cat, 1 and B doors. That cave side needs to be protected proper. And Teemo is snuck out towards the box. Could be an unexpected position here.
Oh my gosh.
This guy nearly collects onto Thomason. He's just tucked away into the corner, just living. This round is so tentative. Teemo could activate at any moment.
And bomb going on the back of Thomason here. That kill is going to send it just in the opposite direction. Original plan, guys. We're calling it back up. The audible to A is not going to be coming after all. Lucaozy in this corner. Can't quite ball like Art did. He's going down with 1 frag to show for it. But I don't think that sword is going to be an issue because you got Zevi here to take care of things. Don't go even further on this Mac 10 Glock. Teemo had it on time. BESTIA roll back up, but they can't complete a 6. A third defuse.
Yeah, I think they just gave over a little too many cues. The Kai's first kill, though, is super impactful. Thomason wins that duel. It's round open and probably round 1 there by BESTIA. They have mid control. They can even rotate the bomb back to A. And with deep A site control and a man advantage, that's the swing factor. It's Kai winning such an important duel. And once you give too much information over at B, 3-player defense, too much to handle there. For the side of BESTIA. Still trusting in Thomason, still trusting in that true star player. So now it's just going to be a ramp rush. They're flying up ramp. You've got Zevi, though, who lines up the double. BESTIA think they have a read. They certainly don't. They've got rounds to play with, but I'd rather a 6T side round here with conviction. Their money's going to be broke after this one.
Feeling them slip a little bit after they're flattened up the ramp. Oxy to go feeling around for this, and all the way on Art's lane, checked back again. I think the Fluxo in-game leader is liking the way this is going, because even when you put that pulse check onto a guy like Kai, I mean, even collecting back the check of this 1 round, this is Fluxo starting to really ground up their gains right back on this CT side with 1 round that separate them now.
Yeah, it's really interesting that BESTIA go for that ramp call, that ramp rush. You're wondering, like, why would you possibly do that? The point of that ramp rush is you're hoping for a weak B side. You're hoping for maybe only 1 person on the site. Maybe the guy in cave also splits up to take that Jaguar control. Fluxo were 3 lean B. They played a 0A setup, and that's just about worst case scenario for that previous round. As it's a hero AK for Thomason, no flashes, no util, just pure firepower. And Lucaozy, armorless Glocksy wants a piece of it, but Thomason's hero AK comes up with 3, and they're into B.
Sound the alarms straight up. This is one to be taken seriously, and they're going to have to bull this as Thomason now the bait. Cassine gonna have to be so precise and waiting patiently. This is the right procedure. Both teams working overtime to try and figure this out. But Kai just slipped back on the timing. We thought he had it all. Zevi in another clutch scenario. He's pulling back from the same back square. But at this point, with BESTIA just separated, is he gonna be able to turn a key and try and find this fight? Gonna see into Thomason alone. Does he have another from the ramp? I think his life just costing Fluxo the round with all of the attention turn. Zevi will get out of here alive, but just momentarily. Bomb takes him, and there's that 6th round that you were looking for, definitely with conviction.
The Thomason with the near ace. They had 1 Molotov and a Thomason hero AK, and he slays them all, one after another on the B ramp. Fluxo want to brawl versus the eco. And they get punished so hard for this. Lucaozy trying to back up. And a bit of a misspray from the third in line there. I believe Art struggling to control. And Thomasin hitting 100 ADR here. The hilarity as BESTIA are up 2 rounds now. Noxy not needing a single kill. He's landed about 2 bullets this entire game. There will be a buyback at least here from Fluxo. You have Zevi finally on an AWP. It's a long time coming. But 6 on the T side and literally in this economy. Might just be enough here for BESTIA. Fast mid control, Kai under pressure.
He felt them into that smoke. Not going to go chasing after the tail, though. Better positioned early, set up this lurk, stretching and almost folding out. Noxy straight up surviving on 18 health. Art back into cave where he belongs. Another sporadic play trying to find that opening kill. Can't blame a guy for trying. He realizes that there may have been more here to cave with that peak of Art. They are so right about this. A Molotov that's going to force them further into Cheetah. BESTIA are just taking this bit by bit right now, and you're going to realize it when this bomb goes down.
You even get back square control. I mean, this is basically a save situation. There's so many post-plant positions. You've got Thomasin as well, available for a backstab at any moment. Art goes down first. Lucaozy needs this kill. He does get it. That opens the door back up for Fluxo.
Still waiting on that wit's end. It's Noxy up top. He's still waiting for a middle crawl. Lucaozy, in parentheses, it seems like he is boxed in right now. What is this ordeal? Just whipping back about it. Still got that kill. No round to be happy about, though. A 7th is posted up here by BESTIA. It seems like they really did have the course and plan for something spicy on this T side.
That was such a nifty play from BESTIA to call in the mid round. Is that BESTIA, instead of rushing 3 players ramp, they go for a contact pop. And so what that allows to happen is you have 2 players in cave who are no longer on the site. If you rush, there's typically a player over there at the site pillar itself, but nobody's home. They nail the perfect timing, and when you take godlike post-plant positions, basically in CT spawn for BESTIA, Fluxo even in the 3v4 we're going to save. And so, final round of the half, Fluxo desperately need a 5th. T-side's going to be difficult, and Descenti making these moves, but Chemo keeps them at arm's length, lobs some grenades, and they'll take this lane control, but you've got no kills to show for it.
BESTIA's hand shown, rather Fluxo's. BESTIA's next step is to just listen to the smoke they put up the top of this rain, and they get a kill off of it. No ground to stand on. But while this dissolves in front of the B smoke, Noxy gets involved for the first time, takes out Art. Things are catching up as Kai rotates back to middle, and he is making a difference. Kai standing at the top of this hill has 2.
He runs away though. Now Lucaozy plays behind the smoke. Oh, and he's gonna trigger discipline this one. There's another double for Fluxo. Noxy 2 kills, but 0 impact here. You gotta find an AK, man, and it'll walk right into Zevi. So tunnel visional where Kai was. At least 5 here for Fluxo.
At least 5 here for Fluxo in that half. Gotta wonder if they're gonna be packing away their best for this CT side. We're not gonna be wondering for too long here. We'll be back in 3 minutes after halftime.
my speaker calm. I'll keep going till my speaker calm low. 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 Going till my speaker calm low. I'll keep going till my speaker calm low. I'll keep going till my speaker calm low. I'll keep going till my till my speaker calm. I'll keep going till my speaker calm low. 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 I'll keep going till my speaker calm low.
Certainly wondered if Bestia were crazy, but in fact, that's their statement. They're crazy enough to challenge with these stakes on the line to go to one of Fluxo's best picks here with all of the context. This is where they're leading with a 2-round advantage. Crazy stuff. Timo with a tip too. I mean, this is music to my ears as he's boxed away with Lucaozy. It seems like you may be in for a little bit more art here on the money, and he's got that on par with the trade. Really important on that B lane, and they're going to need to start relieving some of this pressure now. Noxy going to provide another type of scenario. They're out of this thing, back into Donut, and they're running it down to Kaysen's front door.
Yeah, I mean, if Cassine goes down without a kill, you gotta be precise still, but Luchov goes down too, but you're not ready for this, surely, and the flank is already developed. Never really even came down to Cassine. His teammates arrived in time, and a pistol round for Bestia could turn the key on this game. With no bomb plant, do you even force buy here if you're Fluxo? It is desperate times already for what is supposed to be the home map for this Fluxo team.
But this is art we're waiting for to make the call out here. Gotta wonder what's up in his mind, and it's a reasonable grounds for concern. No crazy Deagle armor hero plays we're seeing out here. It's just these Glocks they're gonna measure up to pretty room temperature.
I know he's getting some ecos right now, but this is a very nice game so far
farm
from
him
Timo.
up.
He's had some really impactful rounds. I mean, just talking about that pistol, but also won them the force buy previous half. Closed out a 1v1. A lot of things on Timo's bucket list has been checked off, and now it's time for some money to be made. An op will not buy itself. There's 600 bucks for Luchov. Come on, Timo, hold off. It's your ecos. You earned them. Oh, that's not great, but it will be locked up. Just a single one goes down on the ante. And so, now for Bestia, 9-5. This is it for Fluxo. Has to be the turning point. They have to have not just one singular one-off round. They have to have a game plan. They need a consistent way to win. Versus Bestia. Op is already out for Cassine. First gun round will decide the game, potentially.
In essence, that's how far this Ancient has gotten out with this very good line that you have set.
All right.
So not going to wait for another idea. And they teed up Timo right on the dust. On the green he is now. Casein holding this line for a far range. About to be surprised. Forced back from this square. It's a quick save decision by Bestia. Or so we think. Two players here into the cave. And Thomazin's found Lucaozy now. This could be serious.
Yeah. Smoking his face at the moment, but this cave position, you can get some wall bangs in, you can put threats on so many different parts of the site. Bestia are not keeping themselves out of this one. They are still approaching the site.
Honestly, I'm not sure that I love this. With this type of line that they have in, they're putting a lot of risk into the end of this round. And Art, he's just gonna put down mouse one in that rain.
Oh.
Don't you dare come at that smoke expecting something else. They tried to dogpile on that bomb, but taken to the next floor. Descent gets that 6th round up into the board. Fluxo needed that so badly.
Yeah, they thought the bomb was planted back of the pillar instead of on the other side that was facing towards ramp. Yeah, so a bit of a sillier retake there. It would have worked, though, if it was planted where they thought it was. But you can see they're scrambling and looking for the bomb. The Senti lines up an easy double. And so a messy round there from Bestia. Obviously, it starts off with the amazing call, though, from Fluxo. Again, going for that ramp play, exploiting that early B weakness that Art has a read into. But now, since you've given up so many of your guns, you're actually at a breaking point here. Fluxo just need to push you over, and they could start a bit of a comeback. Cassine, a quiet T side. Still holds onto his op, though.
Perfect play to shake him awake. As a result to just put down a pin on that. And again, I feel like I was about to go in the spiel of why, even poetically, it's so exciting to see Luchov next to Timo fighting back-to-back on B. You're really seeing this turned up into the 15, who sees out of danger with one beam. And right from this again, he can try and just dot on the line once more. Only one to pour out from that op.
Yeah, that is really good, though. Anyways, he was in a very tough position. He luckily had the extinguished smoke for the molly. It still comes away with the kill. This push from Noxy, though, calls the entire A side of the map clear. And so, with Luchov jiggle peeking, process of elimination tells you that they're either in donut or they're sneaking through cave. Luchov will be back here in time, but he's a sole defender.
With an MP9 and a dream of 3 players in Fluxo, gotta just make this bend and confidently out of the ruse from Art himself, who is doing a lot today individually. They pass here through that smoke that's going to be providing a little bit of a gap in case you want to slink on through this. Thomasin and Timo are going to be back-to-back. They walk to the left end, and it's going to be Art to just get them with the backstab. Noxy can provide something through cave, but it is just the lock-in key to turn you back into your cage. It is Fluxo back alive now, and you better believe it.
A 3 versus 4 situation there, and I think Bestia overcook in the mid-round. They think the worst has possibly happened, that somehow all 4 players, rather the remaining 3, have gotten into donut somehow, and they leave the actual targets weak. They try to recollapse in on middle, and I think it was just inefficient with the space there that the CT side had, and it allows for a pack of 3 players to break open the B site and put Bestia down to broke. It's just going to be a knife out sprint down the B ramp, in which nobody's looking, but it is quickly turned into mincemeat. Still, Bestia struggling in these mid rounds could give Fluxo the avenue back in. Obviously, we talk about great CT side advantages, but you still need to play good Counter-Strike at the end of the day, and that's been Fluxo.
And I'm looking for the 3rd highest rated CT player for a step up. Cassine just out of the conversation at the moment. And when he's even been provided the chance of op, it's I mean, been in, gruesome grounds. We saw that went down in middle just a couple plays ago, but if I'm ringing on that aspect, I have to talk about Noxy underperforming. This is a consistent key, unfortunately, sometimes for the in-game leader, but we have to see it improve.
And look at this, Ascenty's already going for extra plays too, as he rips apart middle of Ancient. Oh my goodness, I haven't seen entry pathing like that. He just walks through every smoke, catches every player. Disgusting move, and another gun round goes down the drain. He's on for the ace. Don't steal it for him. He wants it. And Lucaozy is going to do the dishonor to his teammate. It is suddenly 9-all though. Is it even calling at this point for Fluxo? Descenti just says, hey, I've got a timing, and wins the round.
This guy's an absolute turret. What a terror out here from the top of the shelf. It is music to my ears, Vi, when you see shots like that. This is him fully bringing the must to this Ancient right at the start of this turn. You're into the 4th quarter now, and BESTIA are bleeding.
Yeah, BESTIA are just a bit uncoordinated. You have a crossfire that's focused up in towards elbow in that situation, and just simply not prepared for the Senti to make that individual play to walk through the smoke and catch them all off guard. I mean, I'm looking at this and seeing that Fluxo have some reads of their own, even though this is their best map, and BESTIA try to throw them a little bit of a curveball, saying, hey, we were able to pick this up last time in our matchup. We're feeling confident on this one. Real conviction coming out of some of these Fluxo players, nailing all of these timings. Another eco for BESTIA. And a real safe default right now for Fluxo. They're not going to give up to any funny business. And Kai is going to get some action here. Big ol' peek scene. I think they're just going to turn this one into a simple donut split. They've been given the space. They've got all the utility. Shouldn't be a problem.
Feels like BESTIA have waltzed and waited in this for a while. Already up to their knees, and soon to turn into a higher tide, into where you can see into a den of pistol players, but they are picking out from every palace you cannot even get at play. Smoked out, covering the back door. These 5-7s into the shredder.
Yeah. Timo goes down next, and Luchov knows he's being watched. There's 5 players alive, for goodness sakes. And Zevi, I think it might be in one-shot range of that 5-7. Liza takes a step back and cleans the kill easily. It's suddenly Fluxo here with the lead. You have a 7-5 T-side, and you think that might be enough. They got multiple gun rounds. They even got the pistol round, plus the conversion here for BESTIA. Everything was set up for success. But a couple of misreads, inefficient mid-rounding, and Descenti nearly going for an ace has turned this game on its head. Fluxo hold the lead. BESTIA finally have a response in one of these gun rounds. Just look at this again. They're going to hit this B site while it's weak. As you see, Descenti wants to make an individual play. He's already out on a B.
And you may just get the contact needed. I don't think either player gets the spotting onto Timo. Vision that is not depleted. Arc gets dinked up in that process. They continue to go 1 foot in front of the other. The real bit about this is on to A, and can it remain so? There is so much attention being brought back here by BESTIA, and the nade finds Thomason, but does that add a little bit more confidence to the tally? It seems so. Even when the rotations are on the way, Kaysen now with a time to shine.
Oh, it's all over the place, though. They try to go back in towards mid, but then Art was called back from B. It's so weird. Now they have to go forward into both players here, and a total misread. But switching to the pistol, Art has a chance to clutch. Luchov, though, on the off angle will get it, and by some miracle, BESTIA win that round. Fluxo had the entire B site, but they were committed to walking out A. And this team's miscommunications will cost them this round as they just walk back into an AWP. Critical mistakes made here by Fluxo in a critical round. Like, this entry, monstrous from Art. 2 versus 3. All you gotta do is group up. But they don't.
It's literally the perfect call, the perfect time, excuse me, to call that play so much so that it's poetic. That's literally where they started off this round streak of the 5, is by providing a B rush and literally blowing it up. That would have been even satisfactory over here to see that. And I know right before that play came out, you said this one gun round, if Fluxo lose this could be the game. This could put the CT side in a different conversation to begin with. Took that and ran with it. That's how we're here.
Timing just been missed, but footsteps made.
Oh no.
He whiffs! But still, Cassine does have his teammates back. 3 versus 5. Lucaozy's also pushed out. Missed shot from Zevi. Great trade from Kai, but Descenti making yet another play. A round-winning one at that. He's already here on the site. Thomason, no idea. Sideswiped, and the B site is open. Timo gonna swing, but late on that MP9. Bomb gonna be planted.
There is just something in the universe that is keeping Kai away from these timings outside of Cheetah, and he's going to get backstabbed momentarily. It's Decent that's going to have to stand here and just pitch one more back from this square. He's living on 9 health, and he has got Noxy, who has struggled bit for bit on this map, and now they're in for this clutch pound for pound. The in-game leader can hear Descenti getting desperate, but this Molotov may just box Noxy into his own damn cage. Fluxo, like Bestia's pick of Ancient on fire. This is their home turf.
It's a 2 versus 4 there from Fluxo. Another quad kill for Descenti as well, and a clutch. And every missed timing, Descenti is just a savior. He's making so many impeccable reads against this Bestia team and having the firepower to back it up too. Unbelievable stuff there. As we're seeing Fluxo pull a T-side comeback after losing the pistol. Noxa nearly dies to start this round off. Loot Shop should and will, as he takes down Art to 1 HP. I mean, none of these rounds have been clean. There's been so many missed calls. Will Fluxo find a way to overcook this one?
The second half has been so messy. Seems like that's the way that Fluxo like it, though. This 5-7, we've seen it do so much here. On late timing, I actually loved the look onto that first fight. Overwhelmed the numbers here by Bestia. That was really the only point at which I assumed they could add up here. And with that little bit of attention that Decent pulls, that's the only link towards B that they've just seen.
Oxy just heard falling back in towards the B side. Lucaozy sprinting out A. I mean, sure, this is work.
Yeah, man. Okay.
He was just wallbang behind the back of the pillar. It's legit.
No biggie.
It's legit. And Thomason, desperation, dead. It is suddenly map point here for Fluxo, despite Bestia having the keys to the castle in their hand.
Do you even remember the days watching at home of a Bestia that was bringing the doubt to this Ancient for everybody that was calling it for Fluxo? And at a certain point, I'm rolling up to the queue to a 7-5 half, and I'm going, am I the one that's crazy for calling him out like that? Do it to him, please. I would love nothing more. A stab in the back, and it just feels so poetic, Fi. I don't know if there's a bigger insult to injury you could add to this.
Oh my god. After Fluxo were down 9-5, the CT economy was rolling. And who else but Decenty to put down a dagger, a butterfly knife, because he's brought back this game single-handedly. 2 quad kills, a clutch, and everything Fluxo could want for. An incredible game. Obviously, a player who's had to take a step back down from what was Tier 1 Counter-Strike. He wasn't even playing badly in Imperial. Keep that in mind. He was actually one of their best players. And you could see that in just the quality and the decision making that he brings to the table. Senti has played so much European Counter-Strike, and a real quality player to try and finally bring this Fluxo name to tier 1 tournaments. What this organization's been gunning for. It's why they got Lucaozy back in their ranks with Art at the helm for him.
And on the worst time for it, too.
Yeah, I know. A little technical pause, why not?
Of course, to spice things up here and just, I guess, delay the inevitable. So, as if it really feels to go any other way, please tell me differently.
Inevitable just yet. There's still one more, bungled call that we've seen. The only gun round Fluxo have lost was to a saved AWP in a 2 versus 3 situation where the players don't know where to go and they peek them one by one. That's the only round that they've gotten, but one more of those, and who knows where we'll be.
Kind of can't believe we've only really been through this Ancient yet. We're not fully out. You got this Inferno up next door. For those of us that may be more used to seeing how these videos used to shake out, look, this is just calling it to a different name. The last time you saw this breakdown, you're obviously flipped to the bit of it out of the technical pause. Hopefully it wasn't too crazy of an item. Look, I would probably gamer rage after getting stabbed in the back if it was
or be like
Timo's
terrified.
end.
Like, sometimes
Understandable.
sometimes like the desk shakes and knock over your camera as I jump up here from Thomas. It's a whole full whiff though. 20 bullets fly above the head of Descenti.
I don't think Timo's back for this final round. Is this BESTIA accepting the inevitable or having to push forward on their own with the numbers that they still have, the strength in hand? They could potentially take this out in a 3 versus 4, especially because of the in-game leader's positioning.
Foxy, though.
Frags going into round 23, but if he can collect a multi right here, it may not even matter. Cassine, he gets nothing, and I'm not sure that there's anything more for BESTIA to give. If there is, it's through a last breath of a Luchov, who is going to be the only man that can, as he stands and burns to it.
Still here. Timo is back in the server. He's the one player who disconnected, but the read is in here from Zevi to take him down. It's Fluxo, who were down 9-5 and had all of the cards stacked against them. CT economy was rolling. It was BESTIA's map pick. We know how CT side Counter-Strike is, and we even say that he didn't have ops in his hand. Realistically, he's jumping out towards middle and he's not finding that multi-kill, and he's not at the scene of a lot of these plays unless it was the one mistake Fluxo made in a mid-round where they just walked into the op one by one. Cassine was missing on that CT side specifically, and I mean, you can't really expect Noxy to have a really strong performance. I think there was just some missing pieces there for the side of BESTIA that allowed them to close. They had a big advantage. They were up 9-5. They had the money, and they lost it all. And now they stare down the barrel. BESTIA really need to win this series just for not just staying in the cup, but also for the VRS. And that's a great start there from Thomason.
And if you just saw those 1x bet odds pop up at the top of your screen, we're doubting BESTIA on this Inferno. Staring straight at the 2-0. That's the tally. That's the prediction. That's where we're facing into the odds as Luchov pin those themselves with Noxy to back up and Cassine on this hook. Can we see him dig further with this US? Oh my God! Doesn't get started. Wave your wand and it's magical at Descenti every time. He pulls out a triple from the hat.
What the heck? He fired like 5 bullets and got 3 kills. That is maniacal. Thomason, he got the initial. He's lost all his teammates, and I think he just wants to save his armor at this point. That's never a good sign. 1 bullet to the body would... Oh, he got tagged. Thomason got tagged for 5 points of damage. That's enough to damage the armor and make sure you can't buy head Kevlar next round for cheap. So, I guess 5 damage is mission accomplished. That's the state we're in here. This side of Fluxo.
I'm keeping my eyes peeled for that replay. If we can get that on Senti, excuse me. Like, I am kind of at a loss for thinking about how this happens. Even, I mean, staring at the kill feed, gushing up a couple. BESTIA disappears from that B site in one foul swoop. Toasted immediately, tallies up where they started off at the end of that Ancient, and they look good here.
Yeah, that had to have been a gross. I'll say, like, spray transferred the Glock. And a force buyback. Thomason just gonna use his saved Kevlar to invest in a FAMAS. You've got a Mag 7 for Nox, so he was trying to get up towards the half wall. And at this range, oh hell no, he nearly gets the kill anyways. I don't know how that shotgun could even muster something like that, but regardless, Senti still stands. And Lucha desperately trying with the dualies, but opening pick for Fluxo, and okay, Kai's in trouble, but clotheslines Timo to keep this one under wraps.
Panic all over the board here for Fluxo, but not too much concern.
A little bit afraid of Lucaozy's positioning there for a moment. He could get peeked by a guy from Oranges, and seen the 5-7 do some damage. Are we going through the smoke? Looks like it. This is gonna get weird. All three BESTIA players are here.
And Lucha standing at this point with the deagle. He is dinking and setting it up for Thomason to go swinging, and he may go further. He's picked up an AK, and why not try and get a third on the merger? They are sprinting away with their lives between their hands on this amount of health.
Oh my god. Such low HP remaining. You can play headshot angles on this A site. Despite that, they don't even have good guns. The CTs have better weapons now. No smoke, no utility, just desperation here for Fluxo. Thomason's even got a molly. He can flush out back sight. Indecenty. Oh, we'll land a kill. There's no head armor for Thomason. That 5 damage, can you believe it? Came back to win the round because the Mac 10 able to clean up the kill with the single headshot. I will not be living, I'm sure. And it's 2-0 for Fluxo, if only just barely.
Gotta pay attention to the little things and how that comes up to fry from that. If not for that little love tap, that perfect armor being denied in round 1, this doesn't get any easier. Lovely stuff right there. Cassine just has to hold on to what he can, but it's just thrown back into the bender for this Inferno. I mean, the last time they were on this map, it was a 13-5, and BESTIA were picking into it. Obviously, we've turned the tally here today, but for how BESTIA have been looking into these Infernos, for a team which I highly rate, right? Forget the even scores from the Fluxo results. I mean, I don't know where a lot of this has gone on some of the Inferno recently. It's been bad, not just against Fluxo.
Yeah, I mean, they've lost to good teams, fortunately, for BESTIA, but obviously this team just goes through inconsistency, right? They need a lot of their individual firepower to carry them through. They need Thomason and Luchov to have their step-up games, and we've talked about Luchov's slump. He's in the most active roles on this team. If he's having trouble individually, it's going to cost the team.
You want to play a game? Real quick, Fi, I know a game podcast. We could play a game. Maybe after this re-aggression, but I'll tell you the name of the game right now. Who is the highest rated player on BESTIA's Inferno? I'll just let that bake in your mind right now. Here comes this Mac 10 laying it down, and we're lining up for him. Lucaozy can recover, but the Galil is still on the hook here for that final frag. All 3 members of BESTIA have been put to rest.
Yeah, better get that bomb planted quickly, Zevi. You need to take advantage of the space that's been gained. And by this point, gave him an extra 5 seconds on that bomb timer. For a team that doesn't have kits, valuable for BESTIA. They're flying it in the sight, though, a little before the flash. But the spray no good from Kai. Zevi will happily clean up. Awkward scenes there for Fluxo on the retake. Once again, they'll push it across the line, and it puts Bestia in a weird financial spot.
I'm going to wiggle out of this. But maybe when we have a moment to tally, look, do you have the answer to my question?
Oh, okay.
I'm looking at the stats.
Not looking at the stats.
Thompson, right?
I would put the shout in for Thomason.
Yeah, you're wrong. It's Noxy who stands at the top of that board. And look, it's not even like it's really a problem from Thomason's end. He's right behind him, right? But the fact that Luchov has his worst CT map for where we come to really praise Luchov in other scenarios for being like a 1.3 rated like CT player at times, this is like a super ugly mark. In terms of how this positioning could be served up to Art, though, to Noxy, he's the same kind of player as Art, where I think he's going to be loving the active nature of a top banana play, having a lot of impact, but it just goes to show where the rest of this Bestia temperature is.
That actually breaks my brain. What's his rating, shall I ask? Don't tell me like a 0.9.
Solid. No.
Oh, flash forward.
Are you asking me Kason's? Excuse me. Luchov taking that. Excuse me, Lucaozy. The double L's are throwing me for a bit. Yes, it is Kason's rating. That is a 0.92, followed up by the Luchov 0.94. Not too great.
That's not a bad start. Problem is, Fluxo have the right call in mind. As not quite clearing oranges, but fortunately, Thomason wasn't peeking. Could have been a back turn instead. It's a box of bullets emptied out. Luchov down next. And looking for the AK. And it will cost you. Lucaozy, I swear he just loves running and gunning. And seen another victim. Eye out for Bestia, but right now Fluxo are definitely playing with better flow right now. Really working the map efficiently, finding the weaknesses. You've got a 3 versus 1 on that B site cleanly, despite losing your lurk as well. Some teams would panic, Fluxo don't. Oh, and a run through the molly. Are you kidding? All right. Well, that's going to cost you 2. Really wanting to maybe catch a player with utility in hand, moving forward. Instead, Thomason shredding them here in top mid. Timo does get one back as well to potentially lock this round in. Well, Kai can win it still. Kassim will lodge a 50 cal into his back, but still awkward round despite the Thomason triple. That will get Bestia on the board.
And that's a streak of 7 in a row that continues from Ancient that is finally upended. And even on that stint, right, into that second half, right, I think we can talk about the flow from Fluxo starting from that B rush. But when Descenti had that triple, just crushing them in middle, I mean, that's really when they turned it on. They only lost 1 round more after that play on Ancient. Finally, Bestia are back. These are the kind of starting positions that will get Noxy the rating I was just yapping about. He is the eyes and ears out here, but right now depleted. Thankfully, is Luchov back-to-back there. They find a very aggressive Fluxo first.
Good lurk smoke available. Art, of course, he's going to be walking through these, but there's 2 players focused on him. Art will not be allowed to do this. Thomason should have him back, but in the meantime, it's solo B defender. Luchov's gotta hit this, and he does it. That's V open. That is a calamity right here for Bestia. Oh, but they're gonna walk back.
Quick enough for Fluxo to realize that there's nothing to be poured back onto B here. It's concrete that this is coming towards A. And where you have Kassim so deep in this positioning, late round with the AWP.
Got art
Gotta add it to the reel for what seems to be the very first time in this series. The limelight here to Cassine. He may double dip and go back about it, but a surprise of a MAC-10, you are just saved. And the nade even has another layer to this. Bestia back-to-back rounds on A.
Yeah, Fluxo love overcooking these rounds, really. You know, even if after they do get the kill onto Luchov on B site, you have still a 2 versus 1 with the bomb in tow. It's not like the bomb was leading over towards A or anything. You have the chance to just take that B site 2v1. And, I mean, shoot, you even have time to wait as well. With the CT smoke up, you could get a third player there. And now instead, I mean, this is a full eco bash that Cassine will not be giving up. No scopes will sideswipe the pistols. But this is not the first time this series that Fluxo have been in a strong positional advantage and have overcooked the round.
And that's alarm bells ringing.
Oh, even pushing down mid, just no care in the world
no.
there for Luchov. A little bit of a whiff, but no big deal.
Because the man in the kitchen that is overcooking the chef's hat on art. We know that to be the truth, and I know that I was voicing some of that criticism over on map number 1. So you can see them out on that tally right now. Maybe this is the notion for Noxy. Spoke about how this could even be a individual legislation for him to show up on this map. It's a third that is shaved off in a row. Bestia, they're cruising.
Yeah, obviously, it's Fluxo can't keep making these kind of mistakes. They're playing some pedigree Counter-Strike to start off this game. You know, they're playing with conviction. And I want them to, because evidently we've seen in this series they have the better players on their team, right? In a pound for pound, in a 1 versus 1, I'm trusting players like Lucaozy, players like Descenti who have played at the top level, and you've seen what kind of havoc they can wreak. Giving them a free fight.
I think the only thing we give over talent-wise is probably Cassine and what he's been doing recently more than Zevi, but other than that, you're absolutely correct.
Luchov's going to be in some trouble right here. He's over towards the sandbags. He dodges the grenades, but whiffs and goes down. Noxy needing to step up. That he does. It's a lot of damage down onto Descenti, too. In the meantime, Kai beginning to activate up in the apartments. Will he clear the bedroom here? Timo could flick back over. He will not clear bedroom. Instead, Kai shot in the back and a one-way street into B. Ollie's down 2. Fluxo are screwed. They're walking up slowly. They clear the boost.
What they have.
Oh my god, he does.
No.
Tom is in. Now deep CT. They know that's one of the B players. They get the site for free.
Zevi feeling this out. Even a stab back, a blade through that smoke is not going to fully find him, but nade he's not going to be able to avoid. That is something you're just going to have to swallow, and trying to tempt through the smoke. It is your only way. Jason is just beating them up when they come in front of that unscoped crosshair. You ain't getting out.
Oh my god. Once he puts his feet on the floor, he goes in for the no-scope. As what we've seen, just messy Counter-Strike there. I think, you know, when apartments is weirdly clear and the map is silent, you just gotta check your boxes here and reverse clear the balcony room. And Kai not doing so. You know, those are the kind of kills that I could even get. Can't be letting that happen. Doesn't matter the skill if you shoot him in the back. And I was talking about, you know, how pound for pound, player for player, Fluxo got the better talent. Can't be giving up freebies like that. Tech 9s. Fluxo will march up banana. It's been given over to them for absolute free. And an empty banana flash that Fluxo were going to read into. I think they're just going to hit The gas on this B take.
Noxy swinging out like that is a huge risk, and he gets punished for it. But Lucaozy, right place, right time. He just holds down that A4 and continues to dominate. They're going to be staying right behind this smoke. If a bomb plant happens, it's a miracle. Trying for it now. Kai putting pay dirt, and Cassine with the point blank through the smoke. It is just happening right in front of our eyes once again.
Yeah, it's just definitely a strange game. There's no CT smoke, despite a player on Fluxo having it. I feel like someone might have just missed their lineup. A lot of strange rounds that have been happening here for Fluxo. As you can see, Kai has the smoke the entire time, but they still go in for the challenge in the 3v3 without it having bloomed. And yeah, that's how Lucaozy was able to start collecting kills as well. He's starting to roll back into this game after a tough start. There's been a lot of miscommunication in this game so far from Fluxo. We'll give it, like, not the pedigree that I was expecting to see just after those very first 4 rounds.
I know you mentioned the overcooking. That kitchen got to be on fire by now. I mean, the 5 in a row that you just pulled off, this is an interesting tally. Maybe pulling out the extinguisher for a minute, because there's still, you know, room to breathe on this CT side. But the way that this has gone, one foot in front of the other, it's like, I feel like it's a pretty easy way out of the dark, where it's been basic stuff that's came back up banana every single time. You know, we were coming to maybe question the overcooking from Noxy and the boys before. They're showing up right here to where Chef Art is cooking up something they don't know quite where it came from.
Yeah, and I think the opening game plans for Fluxo are actually excellent. They have a lot of great reads. They have good individual pedigree. They get themselves into a lot of very favorable, like, 4 versus 4 situations. And sometimes they're like, oh, we got to call back to the lurk. Just assess what's on your plate. Assess your players. You don't got to be Astralis to win everything these days. Sometimes, swing them like your donk.
Hey, down here, we swing them like we're Legacy. That's what we can start.
True. So think that pretend you're Dumao, all right?
Exactly. It's another cultural trend you try and chip up, as well as when a team chokes on Inferno, you have to say, like the Falcons.
Yeah, true.
Favorites, I bet.
Bat me up for that one.
Of course.
As
every day.
Apartments set up in a fast arch split. Thomason gets a glimpse, though. Lucaozy's down early. Cassine sideswipes another. Ooh. Nearly hits the second, but 2 kills go back. Of course, Descenti and Kai opening up, putting the pressure on. There's another. No moto smoke, though. But now they just swing into a firing squad, and all of Bestia go into the crosshairs of Fluxo as, of course, Descenti comes up with 3.
I mean, that was a sore thumb, excuse me, of a retake from Bestia, but they literally have no other choice but to stick out and try and fight on those trades immediately, especially for where you considered Kaysen to be, back all alone on that island. That trade from Kai that goes long range out to Moto is just inconsiderate when you see the rest of the veins. That's so much value through one shot. 5-round streak dented.
Really trying to stay active. Put it on. A bit ironic, but a Dumao impression. Isn't it crazy to think that Legacy are the best all-Brazilian team?
You've said it out loud for me, and it doesn't get any more believable when you do it. However, it's currently where we stand, with Furia playing today with, of course, a Kazakhstani Opper and Mr. Yakindar.
And then there's Pain Gaming.
Ah, yes.
All right, but we have a double setup here. Top banana, very committed. Missed shot from Cassine, though. But you also have Thomas in down low. He'll bring home the double and the round as he gets the third on the fadeaway.
I mean, what am I watching from this guy? Round after round. That is a chef's kiss out in the end. Pick up that op. You may need it.
Okay.
Art can provide a little bit of a flashback, but I'm sure just quickly into the back of T-Spawn. Bestia got another back on top of that. Fluxo flaming in to tally into that streak for 1 round. Bestia hit resume.
Yeah, that's a nice banana setup for Bestia. You know, you kind of let the map go quiet. And when no one's really like jiggle peeking.
Forget that's there.
At like top car. Yeah, I do like myself some Counter-Strike Source. I'm excited for Counter-Strike 3 when Counter-Strike goes on TV.
I'm already making plans ahead for what I'm considering another decade to go. That'll be fine. The current itinerary walking down. People have been playing a whole lot of Source and Co. recently. I know that's where the surf community is
KZ.
moved to. Excuse me. Yes, KZ as well. Please bring it back. As a tear falls from my eye. They've improved the server browser somewhat. It's back in game.
I still use the
Cultural
web browser, so.
Ha. Maybe your own way to A right now. Unreal.
Position. I like how Art's just taking the T
I
side
told you
off.
this was gonna happen. I told you it was gonna happen once. He just held on to it, saying, "Zevi, relax. I got this."
Oh my
thing on
God.
par. You just need to tally with the tangos, and they are on these rifles. Lucaozy getting that in that next step. But Timo here has been so quiet in our second map so far. He's playing an anchor position, and that just may feel a little unnatural to a fragger like this. But when
What
put into
is
the
going
line
on?
in the turret positioning, he was there for it. Another point-blank shot outside of one of these smokes. Quite a recipe here.
And here we go. It's 6-6 at the half here. Some messy counter-strike from Fluxo down the stretch despite a clean start. We've got 4 players up in top mid right now. Art also blocking the smoke and helped out by Zevi. That's an opening pick on a very important pistol round. Needing to get started on the T side here because Fluxo still can run away with it. And look at the positions they've taken here, Mark.
Oh my goodness. This is Kai going even further. They are loving the way that it is just lusciously falling into their hands right now. If even a third here just evades Lucaozy, I think it's going to be all well and good. Kai deeper in this to just put the pin into this round here that Fluxo is going to be raising above their heads. A pistol round victory at the beginning of this CT half. Another foundation they could delay.
Oh, they just destroyed them there. They slowed down the mid approach, and that allows the apartments players to take such deep positioning as well that they weren't ready for. It's funny that Cassine actually saw his shoulder, so you saw him react, but Noxy sure as hell didn't. And they're going in for a risky Tech 9 Force. This is really hinging a lot of early rounds. And a double grenade. They're all weakened up. UMP can farm them. Instead, it's looking to be Descenti's A4, but now there's the follow-up, though, from Lucaozy, who makes sure that everything is under wrap. 3 low HP players is easy for him, and Force by dealt with.
And that call just straight up one that is well within the character of Noxy. It's obviously a surprise to see, you know, something like that so boldly called up. But when you're watching this Bestia team week in, week out, where you see some of these higher stake games come to be pressed, he's not an in-game leader, I should say, that's going to be afraid from exactly ticking on that tally. But there, I mean, Descenti and Lucaozy get to operate side by side, and on the table, they just literally wipe away that without a second thought. That was their buy. Maybe they should have taken that eco buy. Quick up to 2-0 at the beginning of this half.
Whoa. And they're playing bold CS. They're pop flashing in the middle over against the eco. Lucaozy wants more. Now, this is... okay, this is a little step too far right now. Molly forward. Deagle's going to chase him down while he has a nade in his hand because he needs to nail this. And he doesn't. Oh my goodness. This is a little too chaotic for my liking. You have players pushing through smokes versus armorless pistols, guys. You just need to hold an off angle. They can't do anything about you. What's next? Thomason walks out the apartment's balcony, 1-deeks the pit player, and opens up the A site.
Yeah, don't give him any more odds that he needs. We'll see where the ends come back to him. Kai momentarily.
Oh, it was close. It was close. He landed a body shot there onto Kai. That could have been round deciding. Noxy would fly through the apartments. They have an A site post plant and an M4 and pit. Instead, Fluxo tentatively will stand with 3 alive. After some aggressive eco fragging.
I mean, I literally watch the way they play here, and I just get excited for what I'm about to see for Lucaozy playing as a rotator on this map.
True.
Already, where you can go and stand the difference between Fluxo and the roles when you compare both of these CT sides, they just make way more sense for Fluxo and how this is playing. Like, when I'm watching Timo play here as an anchor over on that CT side, and I see Thomason moving as that rotator, sure, he's your star player, but this is not a natural feeling for Timo at all. I think they come up very well out of that first half, but I wanted to put some attention on that because it was really making me scratch my head.
Holding a 3-man B setup, and it's going to be a full A site take. This could be very devastating. Now they're starting to fall back and consider the options, but Zevi stepping in and missing a sitter right there. Comes down to Kai, drops down into pit, and he can't get the second. As Bestia basically just dry hit the A site contact. Oh, Zevi's gotta hit that.
And that's the problem. I mean, even on paper, you're going and not even having to watch the matches. You know that a rating below a 1.10 for an AWP player to be the star here on any 1.5 rated tier Brazilian roster out here when you're trying to push it further into the tier 1. I mean, I can think about it, Fi, and I am not going to be too kind when I say this. I mean, I think that I've seen really good stuff out of Zevi. Flashes that I really think are notable. But when I think of some of the other oppers that are out here in South America, and I know I'm being very bleak talking about one missed shot, but this is a larger problem here for Zevi, is some of the inconsistencies, and I wonder if Fluxo consider that Q.
I mean, when he first joined this Fluxo team, Zevi was actually the engine of this roster. He single-handedly got them to the major in Austin, but it's been sort of a struggle here in the online environment. Really carried up a bit by the new additions of Lucaozy and BESTIA again, who has been an absolute beast. And here he is once more. Double nades onto him, though. Vaporize him. And the two new additions that you normally do rely on are done. Art
just hit that A site. They're back to B, just like this fight under the shredder. Oh my gosh! This is just unbelievable work for Art, who takes this B site into his own hands in a blood sport effort to keep it alive. Time for the rotations. Time for Cassine to turn up. That is a terror out of the AWP. And I think Zevi is going to be staying right here where he belongs, holding this op away.
Despite Art coming through with 3 magnificent kills, it's crazy that he's still here on the A site, I guess. It really had to all come down to Art. There's no real other excuses. Gotta give credit to an excellent banana take, though, from BESTIA. Double nades to sandbags, molly on the corner, and absolute doom. That's why typically people play that off angle behind the sandbags that typically can dodge that grenade damage as well. I don't even think BESTIA had a chance to fire a bullet. And so BESTIA will claw back a T-side round here. 9-8. And yeah, you see, he just doom. 250 damage grenades, he's done.
It all adds up, especially with some of these HEs. I've really been a huge fan, and I think everybody has been calling for some sort of logistical opening out there on the B side for a lot of those retakes, those windows being open. I know I'm riffing on a different tally of how the utility is used on Banana entirely. It's opened up worlds, though, especially in that back end. But those are oh so basic, and they're going to be coming back every time. Even had a couple of nades coming back up top. Didn't quite hit Fluxo the way they wanted, but rather BESTIA.
Starting to shuffle the whole setup over towards A.
I mean, when I saw Art out first, I thought had to be the 2 rotations. They go for a one-man B setup again.
It would be a mistake from Timo to step forward. Mid's mollied, which means there's got to be players advancing in the apartments, but a missed shot from Zevi. That's a gimme. And Kai nearly dies. Zevi will clean up, though. Bird his kill. Rotate over to B, but a walk through the smoke. Are you kidding? As they push on past. Bomb in. You have Luchov in the site as well. And BESTIA still gets the kill anyways. Are you kidding? This UMP for Art doesn't need to do anything while Zevi locks down A. As the whole map being played by BESTIA. They don't even know about Art. Then there's Lucaozy. Art was first contact. Now he's no contact. Didn't even need to shoot.
If you were wondering why at home we give a guy like Zevi, who we know is more capable than this, what you were seeing just a round ago, this is where you can turn it up and say, perfect example of how he's going to make the life of every member on Fluxo easier. When he is holding brackets like that, and it doesn't have to be perfect, he gets those 2 kills in there in a dirty scenario. For a bracket setup that was about to be thrown into the binder for it, I mean, this just shows to provide how across the board they can go pound for pound for it, and then your 5th player showing up just like that. 10th round up in double digits, first for Fluxo. And I will say some of my deep inner criticism, for some of these Brazilian oppers comes from, oh, I want somebody to give Nardes on Yawara a chance so badly.
What name did you just say?
And you are going to come after me for that pronunciation, but you're the perfect person too. He's a demon either way. Nardes over on Yawara. Senti opening kill. Points back with 15. What are you doing up here? Luchov's supposed to be way back, too far for Fluxo.
And now a step forward from Descenti. Not quite the kill. Volley forward a little late. Boost as well in the middle of the action. And trying to set up the boost with the flashes, but they're no good. Luchov able to get vision regardless. There's still no coffin smoke, but Zevi doesn't want to take an aggressive line, and Kai's still on the other side of the map. I'm a bit
got caught that deep.
And they were trying to save. I'm a bit disappointed there from Zevi for not giving it a go. Could take at least an angle before the coffin smoke comes through, but regardless, a messy B take, but Bestia will push through. Okay, wait. Pronounce that name again. He's playing for Yawara?
You're gonna put me on the spot.
I am.
I'll gladly do it. It's my job to pronounce these names. I should know how to do it. Nardes, I believe, is the way I was working it before.
Yeah, Nardes. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, thank you.
Terrorists win.
But,
Dude's a demon.
thanks for putting me on game.
Yes. Originally, Hayes, friend of the show, put me on game. I never turned back.
I mean,
Us North
seems like the
Americans
type of player
learn a lot from South Africans, if you think about it.
true. They've made our best
Lean
team
and
in like the
passion.
last 5 years. So
Absolutely. As we see the report of Fiku this morning, but we're going to ignore that for Sonic, obviously, but that was inevitable.
I feel ya. I feel ya. Another contact walk mid here for Bestia. I don't think they're throwing any smokes. Yeah, it's just going to be pop flashes. Kai's going to get out of there, and they're fast up Arch already at a minute 25. As Kai goes down to 2, you have Lucaozy back at the site. Oh no, a terrible whip. But the Senti, of course, cleans up. Of course, he comes through with 2. Time after time for Fluxo. This guy saves them. 2 versus 2.
Bomb has been planted.
The decision is the hardest part, and Fluxo fold.
Are we saving? No way, we are saving here. Oh my goodness. I'm thoroughly hating this decision, at least to look in. Like that Moto smoke is gonna fade. You have a nade molly for pit, and then you could start a retake, but instead, gotta hold it in. I don't like it though because Kerrigan once said, or I think he'll live the bomb blast here. He does. But Kerrigan once said, back in 2019 Mouse Sports, where they were so well known for going for retakes in the deficit, and I guess Kerrigan still has some of that same flair now, obviously, because FaZe Clan is FaZe Clan. But a chance is still a chance. But once the bomb got planted in a 2v2 with a halfway done Moto smoke, Zevi left. I don't know. Also, here's another quote in regards to this.
Please.
It's a chess quote from an unknown person. Actually, I think it was
Magnus
Bobby
Carlsen.
Fischer. No, it might have been
Chess
Bobby
player
Fischer.
I can name. There you go.
It was probably Bobby Fischer, but he said no one ever won a game by resigning. So sometimes you should play to every possibility you can. Doesn't necessarily mean go for it. Who knows? Maybe those nades don't land. Maybe there isn't a kill inside of pit, but you had utility. You weren't a dry run into a crossfire. And shoot, you had art. Well, Art is armed with an AK. Zevi still got his op.
That's posted up over towards B for once.
And this MAC-10 straight up about to be a pawn here to throw Zevi out of the club immediately. A quick miss, but a 5-7 to just in like that. Zevi has a second flavor to it, but Lucaozy, he's jumping through onto first oranges. They try and just rake up the risk, but unfortunately, they don't find the reward.
See, this is where you save now. But since Zevi went out to coffins, okay, he'll be able to get away. No, he won't. He doesn't escape. Like the round where you should have saved instantly. Oh my goodness. Now they've lost the op that they won't be getting next game or next round rather. And okay, you gotta run.
Desperate for the exits. Yeah, we gotta get out of here, fellas. Hold on to something. Oh, just bad to worse for Zevi. I mean, I feel so much pain for the man himself, even after having that quick scope right back. They were holding on to this op as it was like getting better step by step for Zevi. We're starting to change our tune a little bit, but I'm going to need to see him required onto the rifle here, or so I am incorrect. We're going for the last of our bands buying this up.
Okay, so they actually did miraculously get an AWP because Art had 4850 in the bank because they're at max loss. And okay, I suppose that works. Just full sprinting down banana. Because Descenti's just him, man. Throughout this game, he has kept Fluxo in so many of these rounds.
I feel like I've watched Vicenti have larger personal outputs in terms of the statistics alone, but today, even with this opening kill and the miss of multi-kills that he's gotten, it's still been one performance to remember, even on that first map. Art's about to...
They're slingshotting into B.
Yeah, this is going to be a little bit more than just the tease. Art here, he is considering fighting ahead of this, throwing out the Molotov, the flash as he did. They sit behind this line of scrimmage and let Bestia go to work.
If that was a real bomb plant, it could have been a conversion. Instead, Lucaozy empties another mag in. All right, we ain't saving this one.
No, sir.
3 players are stuck behind a banana smoke right now, and that's going to be time off the clock. And now, walking through the CT smoke, no. What? Lucaozy falling back has allowed a player to get to the tree. Time's burning away. Noxie's up close. Lucaozy's not clearing this. Lucaozy's just sitting in spawn. And then
Unreal.
Noxie backstab for the one. Time burned off. They don't got it. Defuse needs to be stuck. They've got multiple players to deny. And that's it. Bestia on map point.
Through the basis of the drama for it, on stage, Bestia have got it themselves. The limelight burns to their skin in that post plan, but they still survive. The way that they're still waltzing out on this Inferno means if they've got nothing else, they've got grit. That's for damn sure. And he doesn't... I think that he was fluffed thinking he got the bomb planter out there. Of course he didn't. That's just the player in pool out in one foul swoop of that spray.
Man. Just some ridiculous rounds. Descenti, of course, is going to try and make it happen. Luchov survives on 1. Art even wants to stay in for the fight. Tom is in working the apartments. You betcha he's clearing this angle. Is he going to reverse clear? Oh, he saw the barrel, but he did not recognize it. I think Descenti might have just called out to Lucaozy or something. Whatever the case, Lucaozy is going to get a kill here. Or is he? He misses the timing again on a jiggle peek.
How far does this go?
my goodness. Okay.
Luchov wouldn't even dare to clear him. Why would I? There's nobody in this room. He gets this 1 kill, but just staying poignant.
Take B.
We obviously just brought up Luchov's lurk. He's staring down for it, and Luchov about to bring the house down. If they are going to stretch this forward, the numbers here in the B site have to be considered. Right now, you are not going to be pulling past this.
HE.
Alive after that first aspect, you're absolutely right. I would stamp it out here now because it's that foot coming down on Zebi, and Lucaozy is here at 5 health with this graveyard in middle. We're headed to that Mirage for our decider and our lower bracket finals.
I mean, just gonna come through and talk about that 2 versus 2 retake in which the bomb had just been planted and they instantly called a say instead, which is the last thing that Fluxo want after getting leapfrogged in the rankings.
Certainly. And it is creatively convenient to bring up those dang Blue Jays, because if you're wondering at home where I can follow their VRS journey, their story to the Budapest Major, well, thankfully for you, don't have to look very far. Keep this channel on. You're going to be seeing Boss versus Blue Jays up in North America in a couple hours.
Yeah, and it would actually be super sick to see, you know, first of all, a player like Laxi heading over to the major on the side of Blue Jays. Mongolian talent in North America, and he brings the same level of firepower you'd expect. As we're finally here live, little tech issue, but we're back in pistol round, going live between Bestia and Fluxo, an all-important map that has major ramifications. As a fake right side smoke setup. Molly, even for Luchov, but can't find his way down the ladder. Will take a lot of HP for that. And Thomas even backs away into the B site. He'll step in through the window. Needs a sharp shot. He can't find it. Now he's on for the hold. But now 3 players running at him. He has to somehow dismiss them all. Running and gunning out of ammunition will finally be found. But the bomb plant's not that simple.
But Art right here, he can be simple. He can just be concise around this pillar, but dancing about it in his team that shows up and leaves a bruise on the chin of Fluxo. The Uruguayan player is going to be lifting his squad into a pistol round victory, even gushing Kai out. Stay away. Proceed with caution if you are going to be walking out of these apartments.
Yeah, and should be done courtesy of Luchov here. One body shot will do. Bessie on the board. No bomb plant either. You know, that bomb plant is going to be very difficult because of how long they took to take down Thomason. They just couldn't headshot him. 3 players shooting at him. And that allowed time for a really fast rotate. Already 3 players in market. And when Art takes the bomb out, they're already in back at the site. No chance to do that. So a full eco. And the old dreaded CT start. Try and start a snowball. As Art, the bomb is not a weapon. Can't plant it here. Don't do that.
I mean, the QB sneak jumps off sides before we can even begin. Wow. Yeah, we're seeing this in a real live professional game of Counter-Strike. Art, what are we doing here, man?
He's trying to bait rotates by like, hey, the bomb's over here, guys. I guess it worked. It got players out of position. I guess it got 2 kills.
I was gonna say,
bro, you can't do. You're not gonna knife him, dude. Oh my god, what did I just watch?
oh no. I'm going to bookmark that round for a long time, Fi. Those are just Art things, and I think the epitome of that round shows it.
I don't know what to say. I mean, obviously, we see the purpose, but
I've only seen that done in matchmaking, dude. Like, what?
I mean, Art just gets reported for griefing there.
No kidding.
Honestly, like...
So now that Art is doing that in a professional game, can I send that to the ACID admins that are trying to report me for throwing the bomb out of apartments?
And then he goes for a knife kill. I mean, he probably wasn't getting it either way. He only has a Glock, but... Oh, man.
Don't they understand the influence they have? It's reckless.
I'm so glad we were spectating Art when he did that. 'Cause that would be a moment that would just be lost to history, wouldn't it?
Yes. Tip your cap to the observer every time. The people making it happen. Excited about this start that Timo presented in that pistol round as well. You heard my yap sash throughout the transition of even during map 2. I was talking about how where he stood felt unnatural. This is more like it. He's gonna get this first kill up on to this cat play. You have Noxy back here putting Lucaozy away. There is so much attention being turned to this B site, but as that trade comes through, the cat player looted and Cassine just pushed into this corner. You're gonna be cleaned out of it. 3v3.
Yeah, and market control for the T side at the moment. Which means you can full focus on towards Cat. Luchop is coming in through the apartments. But being held for doesn't matter. Of course, Descenti miraculously finds a triple kill. What on earth did he just do to them on the catwalk? A boost setup completely disassembled by one player, and he gets the final one to cap it off anyways.
That one to the tally of times we've asked, what did Descenti just do to them? I mean, this guy has just been filthy throughout this entire series. On the third map, not slowing down. And Fluxo just got their feet out under them here after a certain circumstance that Art was presenting and more of a humorous moment to a really shoddy start to the game. They pulled it back.
Descenti is just a true gem for this team. The amount of multi-kills in these gun rounds, too. And an A-side pop where just an Opper on default was the only defender. I don't think that's where he's supposed to be. Still, Luchop comes up with a double. Not the triple, though, that he so desired. Now, multiple players coming in through CT spawn. Gun out here for Zevi. He'll sideswipe the force buying CTs, and Fluxo are in the game.
Just gave me PTSD to EA Sports. Please don't ever do that again to me, Vi. They're certainly here, though. You know you can rock them for it. They have just gotten one step closer to getting into this third map where you've just thrown out the original bag of cash that BESTIA have had. Quick reset through 4.
Oh, looking for a little jump out the window. Mid collapse. Well handled. As it's, you know, when there's 5 players in mid versus 5 armorless pistols, that's what should happen. And so with those 2 losses there for BESTIA, and once again, we're gonna bring up this point, but missing impact for Cassine. It's to happen now here for BESTIA. They've lost that running way. They've lost their AWP. And now fast out middle again, but now in the open, Timo does convert. You like to see that, don't you, Mark?
Love to see it. Absolutely. Timo shot out of a cannon straight up. Got more where that came from, too. Managing to sit here on short. Gotten 1 kill. Thomasine is keeping on the line. Zevi has arrived and has a very good opening towards the window. He could have just dotted up a second here, but you're not going to get that back. Thomasine out in the foul.
Wait a minute.
Hold on a minute. I put my finger on the pulse, and what am I feeling? It's a 2v2.
He gets more info, and Zevi just a turret here. He got a reload off at Van. He's got 3 kills. He's picking off the CTs one by one. They know where Luchov is. They're just gonna hold. Kai has 2 flashbangs if he wants to use them too. No, but are we seriously trying? Okay, well, the jiggle peek's perfect, but Luchov hits the shot. Shoulder peek, trying to bait it. And he gets the clutch. Luchov pulls it off. They had the flashbangs to take the space, but instead they give Luchov the fights, and he delivers.
That round of Counter-Strike there, out of 6, may have given you a heart attack at home. We need to replay this. Goes the way of Bestia. Probably should have, but like that, Timo with the opening play comes down to a 1v1. I mean, better than losing the round completely, but good lord.
I mean, it's not even the fault of Bestia that it gets to that spot. There's really some excellence finally shown here by Zevi. I mean, some excellent op shots, totally a turret, and making some real wild plays that, you know, Bestia wouldn't be ready for. Player op jumping top van, you kidding?
I wish I lived in the world where he hit that shot through the market window, but it's not a time for that. It is a swing on the tally by Timo on the other end of that to draw the line, draw the eyes, and try and bring the crosshairs along. They fall for the trap, and they try and bring it down, but they're still getting back something from window. Luchov hanging around for too long.
Yeah, it looks like Bestia want to collapse middle again. Swing from window. Could be profitable. Instead, it's Timo who drops. And a missed shot from Cassine. And the missing impact, quite literally. Thomason jumping around. Suddenly a 3v4 turns into a 3v0. Fluxo somehow battled back with no utility. Nothing. They squeeze water from Stone.
Better time as any for Bestia to just take a moment to breathe on this, facing the function ahead with nothing but really the flare they're going to have on the pistols. This is just crazy for Fluxo to put Bestia in this position. It feels like we've lived 2 nightmares back-to-back nights of these rounds, but at least Fluxo are starting to really come into course. This is a full turn of the tide of that first half. Gun round, you can just chuck up to Fluxo getting that in the gauge.
Man, it just puts Bestia back to square one again. Keep needling. Cassine, obviously the best player on this team. Rating wise, is just not having a good day right now. Constantly caught out of position. One time he was, I mean, one of these rounds he was opping from default, which is just, you know, really vulnerable to any sort of palace play or a ramp walk. It's so hard to watch multiple angles as the opper. Oh, Kai's making a little bit of noise on the fallback. It's gonna lure these pistols forward. There's no way Fluxo loses this round, right? Okay, well, not with a shot like that.
I'm keeping my eye on this. It seems like we're turning enough over.
Luchov is already here, yeah, and he's gonna find the bomb and an op. You gotta be kidding me! They're gonna find a way to win this, aren't they? 50 seconds on the clock as well. Stalling for time is Luchov, and now they activate in middle too. Now, running forward for a no-scope. Maybe not the best protocol. I'll pick up the bomb. Is Timo gonna get to the right site? Well, Timo's on B. And they don't know that. He has a chance. Small chance, but a chance. Now been seen. Now they leave. And he got a dink. Timo, how is he even... He's a armor 50. All right, we're good.
Bomb has been planted.
I've had a lot of exciting notions, I think, to put to this player up in this third map. How I see him to improve this clutch. I think a little bit too much to snuff, and I think the 9 HP will turn into a bit of an early sell for this P250 against it all right now. But this is a gun round they're going to be facing back into. And that's where I can at least turn, I mean, a little bit of a negative into a positive, right? We've liked what we've seen from Timo so far, but Kaysen, where are you at, my friend? I am hearing a ringing that you're going to need to pick up soon. I mean, the last time that I got to broadcast him myself, I saw a really bad performance against Fluxo. I didn't think it would happen twice, but yet here we are.
Yeah, and we're also looking at... I mean, Luchov had that chance to win the round, right? He picks up an AWP. Art, there's no way we're gonna do this. Okay, after the molly phase, I think it's gonna be go time. It's a totally empty A site too. And a bit of mispositioning here as we're out Tetris. Luchov's gotta be head on his shoulders. He keeps it on. As Cassine will also bring home his second kill. Quick 3v5.
This entire A site on a swivel. And they have all of it contained. Bestia gotta hold into account where Cassine can have impact on that rifle. Sprinkling a good bit back towards A. You've made contact here. Poking around and calling for a little bit of help back onto the catwalk. Fluxo are spiraling at the moment, and I don't even really feel a way about this working out, but all of a sudden, I'm looking at 4 players that are over here on the B site, currently in line, but one that they're just going to be able to walk alone. I'm not sure it's going to work out in the long run.
Okay, so Vicenti has just gotten into jungle for free. He has not been seen. On Zevi, you got a player in jungle. This is winnable, but now it isn't. Oh my god, Luchov did not check the A site. They have no idea. Luchov has just pushed
You gotta
top
take
mid.
this fight.
Vicenti sees one, pulls a molly, and gets out of dodge. And then Zevi delivers. Noxy does convert a massive kill, though. If he drops, it's round on. Instead,
No.
Zevi has a chance, but he's being closed on from 3 different angles. This should be done.
This A ramp is unavoidable.
Yeah, he's done here.
Shot in the back.
Headshot from Luchov, 4th round for Bestia.
Perfect time for a swipe just like that. And a bit of a goodie to give up to an AWP player that you want to see turn the tides. He went 8-16 on the previous map 3 of the essentially same video we saw just 10 days ago between these 2 units. 8-16 ain't good enough. And right now, he's barely passing below that mark. We got to see a pass all up to this window play. If they can catch it, it may be good, but it just goes from bad to worse. It's Zevi that calls him out one-on-one and wins.
Yeah, Cassine has been diffed in this one. B-side pop. Thomason in trouble. Gonna be forced to drop a smoke, get out towards the empty pillar. Needs some impact here. He's got support now, but a market window smoke will lock out one player. Timo's down, and Thomason's still alive at bench, but that smoke is his only lifeline versus 4 players. And now he's the last man standing. He was the first on the site, and now he's out of ammo, and now he's done. Fluxo, patience pays.
I call that 1, 2, 3 timeouts used by Bestia in this first half. I think a larger problem would be probably not sticking at a time in which to talk about it earlier, but you can also call how large and on away from the actual goal about this. There's a problem here, and through the other 30-second calls about it, they weren't able to figure it out. They don't want to face into an 8-4. That much would be so hard to face back. I mean, you're in the dark completely now. It's this 2-round advantage that Fluxo have over him, and exactly how that went down on B, I'm really loving where this is coming from, Art, on every single angle.
Yeah, there's not a lot of these mid rounds that are really overthought. There's actually just some very nice freezes. Like, okay, we have this player at bench. He's never gonna peek, so let's just hunt every other kill and not really focus too much on him. Get pieced, buddy. Nice op you have. Now, Timo needs to hit a couple, and he's gonna try running away. Lucaozy homing missile. But Thomason connects one as well.
Don't you dare.
Surely not.
Thomasine to the empty pillar, though. And a Deagle at this door. They could be gone in one foul swoop, but they are surviving
Oh my
and
God.
providing so much pressure. They could just go out again. Glock pull the for it, and he's going to want a dot on this line as he walks this way, and he has a 7th for it at least. Fluxo dropped their anchor here through Lucaozy's 15 frags.
Oh my God. Some Deagle headshots threaded in there and some missed sprays. What should have been a double spray down easily for multiple players only results in one. It allows the tray frags to get a bit weird. And believe it or not, Luchov had a chance. At that close range, one USP headshot would have done in Lucaozy. But here we stand. Cassine back on an op. Only 2 kills to speak of for this CT side. And Art flying up the catwalk will get picked. Smoke breaks good. But Luchov gets picked next, and that's the A-side anchor, and that's open space for Fluxo.
Where is this rotation? Back by Cassine, posted where he needs to be in a nest of his own at the CT angle, is going to post set the pole for a first. But you're still rolling on that tide. Check upon the jungle smoke. It's Thomasine coming in through it. And Decent just trying to hold on this angle. The Senti has gone down. Thomasine has got him on that AWP. Enough of the distraction for Cassine to pull in and just have it clean. Answered to the call, and it could be a 4K pinned right at the end for their op player here on Bestia. The Argentinians are reaching back through their Brazilian piece.
The road to the top is a riddle. What will be my destiny? Money and fame are awaiting, but not enough is raining on me. Maybe I should give it all up. How much more can I take? Out here singing to the heavens. When I gonna get my break? I can run this town. Oh. To
And some nail biters down the stretch there, but Fluxo still hang on to a lead. Cassine waking up with the quad kill. We'll see what he can do on T side. It's a fast pistol and a very dedicated destination here. As connector window smoke suggests one thing, it's coming to the B site.
This bona fide brilliance for Fluxo will be on par here in the second half. We got to see if it's going to just be as poignant right here as the potency comes through. These Glocks already knocking so hard through this. It seems like a secured bomb plant as in order. Descenti has a pair of dualies that fighting back from Catwalk on this rain is going to need a distraction. Here is the causation of that. Trying to go and thrive through the chaos just ain't working out. Art backing up with tail between his legs.
Yeah, just looking for that extra 300 bucks towards the back end, but the pot is
Oh, goodness.
doing God's work. Jumps in front of the bullets for them. You say inanimate objects don't have souls. I think that one just did. Saving Teemo. And 7-6 here. Bestia pick up a pistol. And we've seen these CT sides fall apart for Fluxo before, already in this series. Do they have on offer now? It's just going to be a full eco. That means no AWP. I can feel it in my bones right now, Mark.
Is that an Argentinian win that you feel? I need to check here. I know your regular co-caster can actually smell overtime. I've heard this about Exner.
Yeah, Mr.
Probably sniff
M80
crime,
Fanatic
too.
is,
Yes.
knows a thing or two about that. And say I'll call it overtime. I feel like BESTIA have momentum now. As already taking over the B site without a single point of damage dealt to them. Art has a funny little flank. The P250 just ain't accurate enough. Teemo land is back over to a USP, but should be the end of this round. Jumping around. Tom is okay, sure, dude. Guns in Counter-Strike should be allowed to do that, as Lucaozy sent flying next. And these are all the ecos you'd ever need. Just Descenti walking through the apartments. It is being watched. And Noxy, a gargoyle with patience. 7-0. I wonder if BESTIA are playing in a LAN setting right now, because you see Noxy stand still for a bit. That sounds like fist bumps to me.
That's a good point. That's a very good point. Gotta wonder. With all of the busy scenes happening here, could be caught in the middle of one, but gotta see how exactly they're gonna roll out with this. In the environment that they do try and see this back from, are they going to be able to prevent BESTIA from running back one great T-side again that we saw point back in that first game? Luchov here is hats off, doing really well. And same thing with Noxy here. So the ingredients are in the cart. They just got to be able to push it forward.
Got a B-side pop here. For BESTIA, but 3 players in position for Fluxo. Art playing this very awkward angle. And it's going to dodge a lot of the flashbangs. He falls down. Now mollied. Now needs Descenti to step up. First kill's good. Trade is there from Teemo. And then there's Kai. The setup is perfect for Fluxo. As everyone from BESTIA jump into the jaws. P2000 doesn't quite do it there for Art. Lucaozy will get the kill. 8-7 lead now for Fluxo.
And it feels like we're just headed to the latter rounds of this and are going to continue to slug right in the middle of the ring. I know that we've had 2 13-10s literally right before this, but the way this is going, it's going to look like it's going to be decided probably at that wit's end of 23 or 24. Brought him back to this B site again. I mean, it's a bloodbath. And where it's Art up to just try and punish here, he's managing a rhythm of Fluxo that they're going to try and keep close to their chest here. If I'm calling out the name of Lucaozy, then I'm going to need to see some more out of Cassine, but likely as a Swiss Army knife, not just on this op.
Oh, Lucaozy, big off angle, but a good swing from Cassine. 4 versus 5. Jump into the site there, though. Quick 2 for 1 right back. Keeps Fluxo level. Very ballsy play. Hoping that the setup had since dispersed instead. Noxy making a lurk. Senti is looking for exactly this,
no.
but he leaves on a timing, and Noxy converts. Not quite the double, but surely his teammates will. Now Descenti with a chance, but he whiffs. And Bestia answer back.
A bleeding heart of Bestia is still beating. Poignant in the end of that, where every single position advantage there is in the hands of Fluxo. It's just where this tally comes to pass through middle, and then you see the eyes turn all the way back on Catwalk. It just comes down to the minuscule moments here that are making the difference. And right now, it's what happens to be in the mind of Art. He wants to take a tough pill to swallow here so that they can have everything. Unlimited work if they can get the op onto Zevi. But why wait that long? He's got an opening kill himself on the Deagle.
And no map control for Bestia. In fact, Thomas, it does get his.
Aggression onto Cassine. Not chasing after this, though. They are going to be aware of what's better lying here around the A site. But the way they stand, the way they plight, will be Lucaozy into this corner and just stands with a D.
Oh my God.
This merger can at least connect into the first. Bullet perforating through the head of Cassine. But Reaper was around here somewhere, had this opening kill from the bottom of connector, but now sits under balcony. That audio cue should have given it away. But now even with a second chance, he is made to pay, and it's Kai in a 1v3.
Hold on, but he's flying in through the A main flank at the moment.
Can't expect this.
I think they might. On the timing here, they're wondering, okay, no one's peeking. They're on pistols, and Lucha's coming back to check. Ooh, with a headshot. Bestia will rock up to 9. Oh, God, he was so close, though. If one of those pistols aggressing gets a hand on a gun, who knows? Here we are.
It's like there's never any complete failure for Fluxo, and that one notable. I mean, the way that they wade deeper into that round off of the opening kill from Zevi meant that they are really up to give this all of the pressure at the highest of stakes moment in this third map, and it's Zevi back-to-back rounds, opening kills. Hopefully, Fluxo's able to pull this round fully over now.
You still have some weaknesses you could pull on, but I get smoke deployed there from Kai. They'll make sure he can stay safe, deny them access to Cat. Noxy gets a chance, though, on Descenti, and Timo's got a molly lineup. Jump up for Noxy, and critical kill for Kai. Timo in the back lines, but we'll get sideswiped. All these little opportunities for Bestia are reaching their ends, but a walk up in towards the B apartments. Thomason gets the first kill. Knows a player over towards empty pillar, potentially. Nade bounces off of Art. All he needs to do is stay alive, but he doesn't. Gives over control to the side of Bestia.
They stare down this lane from Catwalk and try and just rope to every corner. Cassine out in this tempo alone, and he is just drowned at this missile pillar. Thomason has to blast off if he wants this 1 versus 3, and just trying to check a about it every which way. He's going to need to nail this timing, and just seeing a lane about it, green grass in front of his eyes, is where he will be laying. Fluxo has brought us to a tied game.
That's a nice try there from Thomason. He makes a decent effort to try and get away behind cover and take a surprise fight versus the market player. Decent way to play the clutch, especially with no instant reswing from apartments. This game coming down to the wire here, as it still is a costly round for Fluxo. And BESTIA are buying back in. Thomason dropping $6,400. He says, I'm going to rock with a Mac 10. We're going to see some playmaking here.
And already making his hand known, all the way shown. Here is BESTIA's entire deck into this B site. Card pulled one after the next, and Decenti is taking him down to his level, going deeper on this A1S. Cassine can just look and breathe for another moment. Hold that at a freeze time. It is double digits that find Fluxo right when they order it.
BESTIA really love these B pops, but they're just not going anywhere. These B defenders are just holding too strong round in and round out, where you've been able to pull on players like from top connector and the likes. This one not catching anyone, leaping through the smoke before the Van Molotov connects. And really committed to that play. And I mean, we're going back again. I mean, I wonder what the read is here to say, hey, we just want to keep going back to B. Oh, this nade. Oh my goodness. It's going to break the smoke, and it went deep. I mean, it could have landed anywhere in the apartments and it would have gotten 100 damage. Walk forward. Dink out of the deagle, though, and Art caught strafing around. Will get his mandatory double kill, and Decenti lines up his own multi. That's 11-9.
That relieves a whole lot of pressure off the back of Art going into this round, where you're seeing to all of BESTIA and what they have back into the rest of this T side. This is going to be the call, if any, for Noxie's crew to stand up and put both legs on likely what I was about to call this back up into what I was predicting to go closer into the beginning of this second half. It seems like they're going to be running this into a B split at the wit's end of this round. I was seeing an A play in my crystal ball. Boy, was I wrong. We can see how this does decide to go, because Kai swinging for the hills right now, almost back to back, has a second player in the net, but Art here, he's not alone. He has precisely the precision that he needs to go ahead and stand for two right here. The captain of Fluxo seems to do it himself. It's going to be 12 rounds here that they are going to be capturing first, unless is a big asterisk if Noxie is to have a 1 versus 4 clutch.
Certainly not versus the op, right? Noxie's just waiting. He's hoping they have to spread out. They have to consider market, but wasn't ready for Zevi's op to be on Cat. Even dropping the op for AKs, because we're at this point. Fluxo are rich. They're on series point and are ready to stop this upset, what could have been for BESTIA. These B rushes costing more than just rounds, costing more than just the game even. But slots at the Budapest Major, in just a month's time, every VRS point matters.
A deranged veto he called out at the beginning. But this a familiar feeling for Fluxo to be netting up, calculating a reverse sweep That's what the evidence would suggest. They're bringing it back one more time, and their newest entry fragger has something to hold on to. A double out of the Uruguayan player at the start.
Toss made a lurk.
No way.
He's made the call too. Lucaozy's about to be overwhelmed. Oh my goodness, he nearly got the kill on a Luchov. Now Zevi peeks up, gets deleted. It's up to Art here, 1 versus 3. First kill's good, Art in it. But Art posted and Luchov puts it to work. Bestia alive off the back of Tech 9s.
Seems like we're above that full price of admission right now. You're at least, excuse me, getting that fateful 13-10 scoreline, but I gotta provide probably a little bit more to that. If we can get this third map into overtime, then we're gonna be busting at the bits for where we saw most of the second half, into back and forth fashion. But Fluxo have held on to the little bit of flair that they needed for this lead, and they just avoided that opening scope. Ooh, and that bestie aside from Zevi, and they get the revenge.
Teemo's a monster right now. Keeps going too. Molly deep. Then Art will finally punish. Force forward and no trade. Art lives. And Lucaozy doesn't convert a kill though. On towards Noxy. And Art gives up his position with grenades, so Fluxo maybe not wanting to drop ops for AKs. They thought they were so rich, they couldn't lose. Instead, they're dead broke, and we're heading potentially to overtime.
Bestia got more to give, but they got a lot to grab. That has been the entire notion of this best of 3, is how bad Bestia need it. They need these VRS points more than Fluxo. They need to, they need this victory to start out what would need to be a series of many of them to repair this resume to get back to Budapest. This is the start.
Five players down middle for Bestia. Into a 4-man setup. Oh, but a jiggle peek from Descenti peeks into literally 5 players. Here comes Lucaozy though. There's a lineup for 2, but he overfaces just a little bit. And so that leaves Zevi here on the site. Now seen, now swings, now dealt with. Cassine with 3. Chews through the whole setup for Fluxo and it goes to overtime.
Hold on. All of this is going to be on for 24 into this OT. I guess that's what was required. This is beautiful business at the end of our losers bracket final here. Oh my goodness. On the line for this is crazy stuff.
And now Fluxo have money. Now they're not going to be broken. But Bestia, I mean, specifically Teemo's entries are ridiculous. He got another kill there onto Kai as well. Fluxo had the chance there too, but the surprise 5-man connector walk. Bestia love their contact plays, and when you have an opera like Cassine who is finally hitting in this series, it's a great sight to see. I think he was something like 2-9 to start this game off. Now he's gone positive. He owns them on the T side AWP.
Now you're an OT. That money not going to be a problem for these first 2 rounds to begin. Got to give the praise to Noxy for staying so calm to even relieve this pressure off of that call. One of the boldest that I've definitely seen him make in some time. All 5 just a contact of connector there. So much chaos to ensue. but we're out to a new set of downs for this Mirage. We got to settle this thing in overtime.
Okay, Descenti's up to some no good plays here, though. As he'll get cleared.
Should be seen.
He'll get cleared. That's an easy opener handed right over to Timo.
He was just ripping through Fluxo in these last couple of rounds in these middle openers. That one, not quite on that same speed.
I'm
BESTIA tally at the same.
a bit surprised. I'm a bit surprised that Descenti stays in that position for so long. You can call for a pop flash there, and on that timing, players will have walked up to that position by that point. I think at around the 135 mark, you call for a pop flash, and Timo is totally gone. But pressing the hands together and praying, not the best strategy. Has now boosted up into window.
Gonna go ahead with that just as soon as that fire fades. Deja vu to this exact positioning by Lucaozy, but not the way he lined it up before. He's still managing to pull out a double kill from this position. Art in a flash of a flame in a 1 versus 3. All he has to do is hide. Lichov trying to get some security on this bomb plan and has it just in the nick.
So Art, he's here at jungle, knows where the positioning is, has isolated Luchov.
And what a line that absolutely lasers the in-game leader back. No clutch for you in this first round of OT.
Ugh. Luchov starting to also wake up in this series. Like, different elements finally here in the server. Luchov had a tough go of things on Inferno and was missing impact. Back on Ancient. I mean, but this little whiff here from both players, to be honest, right? Kai shouldn't even be going down in that situation. You're on such a huge off angle. But just move faster than their bullets, says Timo. He has been a monster entry fragger here for BESTIA. And now Luchov just ran out of the palace and popped another. Descenti now in trouble. It does deal with Timo.
Oh my gosh.
He falls next. It's just Descenti and Lucaozy. Brick wall on the A site. 2 versus 3 with duels everywhere.
And those bang bang opening plays cut out here by BESTIA, but don't you worry. If you are waiting for something to turn the way of the Argentinians, it's the head, literally that witch of Descenti that is just caught in the headshot. Tomazine just on this timing so far to the fact that it gets Art off of his grounds. He's trying to walk forward and he's shooting at the dead, but they're no longer walking, Art. You gotta be careful of that.
Oh my goodness. Both players are stuck inside of connector. I mean, one molly from Noxy just gives them so much time. And there you go. Lands in, forces Art forward. He swings, he just gets the headshot because Art does not care. Now Tomazin. GG's, smoke onto the bomb. They don't know where he is. Tomazin gets the kill on Art. Full HP, Lucaozy over the top of the site. Now see, he didn't catch the shoulder. Tomazin comes up clutch, and BESTIA still have a chance to win this series.
Dancing their way to this destiny via their bona fide closer. This guy is unbelievable when put into the process, and Tomazin even has it made for him in an easy way. That smoke put out, you knew it was over at that strand. I think tally enough to give a whole lot of respect here for Art getting involved in these conversations late. He is one of the highest lifters and heaviest of Fluxo here on this third map. But is it making a difference when everybody isn't showing up to the party? I think not.
Fluxo gotta win this round. Mid round default to mid, but 3-player A hold. Right position once again, but Palace has been a huge weakness for this Fluxo defense in overtime, and they're gonna get tested again.
Not expecting that contact on Lucaozy, but there's one head gone. Lucaozy is going to be out with Zevi right next to him. This is going to have to be Decenti picking up a multi-kill. One isn't good enough, and that's what he walks away with. But time and time again, it's been this re-aggression from Catwalk and Connector. This nade too far to find Timo out, and he nails Kai to the board. That is a finishing move if I've seen one. But something is telling me that nothing is going to keep Art away from this clutch here at the end of the first overtime. He walks this way back to the site and has a kit on the front end.
But the reposition of CT and Palace should be far too strong because Timo is popping heads right now for Bestia. Weakest player. Talk more here, my friend. He keeps hitting headshot after headshot to potentially win Bestia this series. They have 3 opportunities as they swept the T side on Mirage.
And I'll just echo it again, even scream it off the roofs this time. Take this guy out of the anchor positions. Give him the spots that he wants. Look at the output that he's coming in here when in the aggressive notion of this T side of Mirage. He is a terror out here. I will say this with my hand held high, with my head rather, Fi, and it's not really going to take me much to really turn back my memory. This is easily the best performance that I've seen out of Timo when it's mattered the most.
So flying forward, Thomason switching back to the M4, gets a quick and easy kill, just trying to buy some space. He's solo here on the site and bought enough time for Noxy, who gets the double. Unbelievable shot from the in-game leader. Kai, last man standing on Bestie, have done it. Massive win here in the Challenger League Season 50 Cup. As they take down rivals Fluxo, they advance further in the tournament and give themselves better chances here at Budapest.
Get that revenge from just days ago. Bestia are going to be moving on